And I thank the Father that through all of these years, and 35 years of our existence as Kingdom Nation, the Father has blessed us in a way that is beyond our expectation. Through the many hardships, trials, temptations, accusations, persecutions, and all the things that we have encountered in our spiritual journey with the Almighty Father, He's been our pillar of cloud by day and our pillar of fire by night. He did not leave us because this is His work. And He produced me as an appointed son. And He has given me the authority and the power to recreate sons and daughters according to His will.
But before the kingdom of heaven on earth became a strong kingdom nation as it is now, one man has to die to himself to eradicate the serpent seed, which is innate in man, in order to bear much fruit. But before the Almighty Father adopted him as his son and became heir of all things, Pastor Apollo C Quiboloy, although he has been appointed, has to go through the fire. He had to pass his furnace of affliction so that everything that was connected to the flesh and to man's fallen nature would be burned into ashes, that all that will be left in him is gold tried by fire. Pastor Apollo C Quiboloy was called and isolated in 2 mountains for 6 years. First in Kitbog, Malalag Cogon, South Cotabato, where using his freedom of choice, he repented and decided to surrender his own will and obey the will of the Father when he said, "Father, from now on not my will, but your will be done." He was finally freed from the serpent seed, the spirit of disobedience that separated man from God. Pastor Apollo was then transferred to another mountain in Tamayong for an intense spiritual training to focus only to the will of the Father. He was cleansed and was spiritually nurtured and matured until the spirit of obedience was perfected in him, when he said, "Father, my heart is fixed, my mind is made up. I will follow your will no matter what. If I die here, I die now." After Pastor Apollo passed his spiritual training in Tamayong, the Almighty Father sent him back to his former denomination. At the back of his mind, he thought, the denominational system had been taken out of me, but why do I have to go back again? But by faith, he followed the will of the Father. Just like Moses, who had no idea that he was the one chosen by God to deliver the Israelites from the bondage of Egypt, Pastor Apollo did not know that he was the modern Moses chosen by God to take his people out of the bondage of religions and denominations. Thus, 5 years after, on September 1, 1985, the Almighty Father commanded him to leave the denomination, take his people out, and lead them to their true spiritual freedom. There were 15 faithfuls at that time who joined Pastor Apollo in the Exodus.
In the world of faith, it's already done. It will materialize sooner or later. So, 35 years that we journeyed spiritually in the kingdom. It's just like yesterday.
But unlike the kingdoms of this world, the kingdom nation is built by faith, strengthened by sacrifice and complete obedience to the Almighty Father's perfect will.
Sa nakita ko talaga, noong nasa Villamor pa kami, sinasabi na ni Pastor, itong nangyayari ngayon, itong malaking katedral, itong lahat na lalaganap sa buong mundo, ang gawain ng Ama. Pero noon parang hindi kami nagdadalawang isip, pero parang hindi pa namin talaga maintindihan ng lubusan kung paano, kasi noon nga walang pagkain.
Experience namin pagsimula, halos wala kang supplies, pero masagana sa mga salita ng Ama.
Lahat ng yan ay dinaanan po natin at alam po natin na ito ay isa sa mga training at sacrifices na ating dinadaanan upang sa bahagi po ng ating paglago ng ating spiritual life.
I will not pretend to stand here if I was not sent by the Almighty Father to do this ministry. That is the hardest of all. If we are not commissioned to be an appointed son and teach others to follow your way, to sacrifice only for Him, to dedicate our lives for Him. You cannot find anything like that in the world.
Dami kong dinaanan kay Pastor ng disiplina din. Pero yung discipline ni Pastor, ma-feel mo na mula sa kakay na talagang nag-disiplina sa'yo. Hindi dahil anong reason niya, o hindi dahil mahal ka niya na maging matuwid ka para isang araw gagamitin ka niya.
Tapos yung talagang dadaan ka sa, alam mo, marami kang decision making na darating dito. Hindi porket nag-repent ka, nag-dedicate ka, isang beses yan. Hindi. Continuous yan. Kasi lahat ng aspect mo has to be in perfect submission to the Father's will, to the Son.
How many years Sister Rose, Sister Ingrid, Sister Ting in the ministry now? Sister Neneng and Sister Didi and many others. 40 years they've been in this ministry. Where are they now? They are still here. Why? Because of the spirit of obedience to the Father's will. They just put aside all of this that will hinder their obedience to the Father Almighty's will. They continue together with me until the end.
I thank the appointed Son of God for He never gave up on me. Countless times that I failed Him, but still the appointed Son is so forgiving that He can always give us a chance to prove ourselves.
Not minding the lures of the world, not minding the lures of the flesh, not minding the lures of the pride of life. They pushed on, and they are in the forefront of the spiritual battle wherever they are.
Just like kingdom administrators who have traversed this path before us, have also been sent abroad and be tested in their stand for the Son. I thank the Father that He has handpicked me and given me grace and strength to live the same kind of life that is pleasing to Him, to stand up every time I fall and to be an overcomer, to be a winner in this spiritual race.
I'm happy to serve the Father. I'm happy to put a standard of your life here in Ukraine. Thank you, Pastor, so much for everything that you've done in Ukraine and all over the world. I'm loyal, I'm faithful, I'm dedicated, and no matter what, I will follow the Father's will until the end of my life. Praise the Father.
Nevertheless, behind these privileges and abundant blessings that the Father is pouring upon me, I learned to become humble and meek. Because I know everything that I have, even my own life, is not my own. Only the Almighty Father, through the Son, owns it all. My mind, my heart, body, soul, and spirit, totally I am owned by the Son only.
The command is also to love your neighbor as yourself. We went beyond the love of God only. Those volunteers that raise the funds for this are being maligned and persecuted. But they kept on their love and faith in their hearts.
Tungkol naman dun sa ministry to the poor ng ating malapastor na ngayon ay in a global scale. Sabi nga na ating malapastor na pag ang isang bata ay makaranas ng kabutihan, ay hindi na niya ito malilimutan habang buhay. So, ito'y patuloy na ginagawa ng ating malapastor at kami rin naman bilang mga manggagawa, pinagpatuloy namin itong advokasya ng hinirang ng anak ng Diyos.
you are brave like me, and you walk through the path of righteousness, and you say, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. Even if I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. You are welcome in the kingdom.
Kaya yun ang sinabi ng anak na pag malalim ka sa kanyang mga mensahe, talagang hindi ka mawawala. Talagang committed ka all the way.
Kahit anong gawin ng kaaway na pananalasan niya, we will come back 100 times stronger, firmer in our mission. Hindi tayo backing down dito. Because this is the territory of the Father through His Son.
What you see is an example of the unity and oneness of the Spirit of God's people, children, sons, and daughters in the kingdom, in building a community that is a manifestation of that unseen kingdom that is within us. Now it is out of us, and the world can see the manifestation of that through us. Now that we are on the plateau or on the mountain top of success in the kingdom, much more that we can do so much for humanity. So let us move on, continue. As the Father said, I'll send you into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature. That is our main ideology, the spiritual ideology, and it has never been so strong in its impact in the world than today. And they are coming to the understanding that when they enter into the covenant of doing the Father's will, that is the only thing that will save humanity, save souls, and the reality of being with the Almighty Father in heaven at the end of our physical life. So let us continue, sons and daughters, strive to reign for unity until you reach the third level of spiritual growth, all of you. And at that moment, I have already replicated myself into all of you. The Almighty Father can dwell in all of us, be doing the Father's work like I am doing it exactly. I am the pattern, the model, the finished